Hello, dear friends. Those who hope to reap the blessings of freedom must bear the burden of supporting it. Thomas Paine. Opinion piece. One final push. Last effort. Nash theory. Cosmic breach. Multiple crises. Chaotic events. Global synergy. Turbulent stage. Cosmic experiment. Is the world falling apart? Let's start. We are in a position where one final push will take us home, according to Steve Biko. The last push designates the final push or effort required to successfully complete a task or goal, when there is little left to achieve it but additional determination or energy is still needed to finish. It symbolizes that decisive impulse that allows us to complete something that is on the verge of being achieved. Nudge theory suggests that small nudges or pushes can improve people's decisions, guiding them toward more beneficial long-term options without imposing rigid rules or restrictions. Small changes in how options are presented can help individuals make better choices, better leveraging their own long-term benefit. The approach is based on the observation that faced with two options, most people tend to choose the simplest or most immediate alternative, even if it is not the most convenient in the long run. Collapse. The world is not collapsing without purpose. It is in the midst of a momentous spiritual transformation that is painful but necessary for the collective advancement toward a new stage of harmony and light. Visible chaotic events such as wars, scandals, and media manipulation are manifestations of the exhaustion of the old system and its corrupt structure, which is being removed and replaced by a new reality based on light, solidarity, and inner freedom, according to Caroline Oceana-Ryan. This is what happens when the fourth turning, the Great Tribulation, Armageddon, the Apocalypse, and Kali Yuga intersect. It is not an absolute collapse, but rather a profound transition from an old cycle of destruction, Kali Yuga, to a new era of peace and consciousness, Satya Yuga. The world appears chaotic and crumbling, but this process is part of the shift to a higher frequency and the integration of 5D consciousness. The feeling of external collapse coincides with internal symptoms in many people, such as fatigue, confusion, and emotional exhaustion, because humanity is crossing a cosmic bridge to a higher existence. The world is not abandoned or lost. On the contrary, there is constant spiritual guidance and the presence of beings of light who support the evolution toward a regenerated planet full of love and coexistence. Although the moment is intense and may seem daunting, we are invited to accept rest, nourish ourselves, and connect with nature and joy, because it is all part of a process of rebirth. In short, the world is not completely crumbling like a total collapse, but it is going through critical and turbulent stage with multiple overlapping crises that put global stability at risk and are causing profound changes in the dominant economic, social, and geopolitical systems. It is a transitional situation with risks and opportunities, in which current structures are fracturing and becoming fragile. Experiment. In a message from Commander Valiant Thor, Ismael Perez claims that Earth is at the center of a cosmic experiment and that a coalition of advanced forces is helping humanity overcome threats such as negative artificial intelligence and the manipulation of hidden agendas by the dark side. In his view, the Prime Directive prohibits or forbidden direct intervention by advanced cultures, except in the event of extinction or global awakening. He presents galactic protocols as strict and aimed at protecting Earth's organic and spiritual development. Ismail maintains that the Blue Beam project, which simulated an alien invasion using hologram technology to establish a world government, has been cancelled because global awareness has increased and the population recognizes manipulation through technologies and false narratives. He also describes hidden planetary defense systems installed by the Galactic Alliance, such as electromagnetic grids, jamming protocols, and the activation of starseeds to raise the collective frequency and neutralize potential threats. He asserts that multiple star races have contributed to human DNA as part of a universal experiment. He also highlights the idea that the critical mass of consciousness is being reached with enough number of humans, which will allow for galactic contact and the closing of the cycle of manipulation. Perez calls for spiritual awakening and rejects apocalyptic narratives as negative events have been cancelled and the future is one of cosmic reintegration. He also argues that spirituality and unity are prerequisites for first contact with advanced civilizations, and that the process of elevation is energetic rather than physical. Reset News. Just this Friday morning, both the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong moved from the back of the forex trading screens to the front and began trading upwards. The Secretary of Defense called an urgent meeting of all military leaders before the House of Representatives collapses, according to such a file. Hundreds of generals and admirals were suddenly summoned to a mysterious meeting at the Marine Corps based in Northern Virginia next week. The Navy Silent Exercise Team visited the White House, and the President gave each of them a challenge coin. The IMF warns of catastrophic instability, in quotes. China is dumping US bonds not out of strength but out of fear. Globalists are panicking. More than 300 private jets landed in Geneva for an emergency meeting of the Davos Forum. Tucker Carlson says the reset has already begun, with banks in 209 countries connected to the quantum financial system. 97 central banks have been covertly integrated, while 82 more are pending. Benjamin Fulford describes a campaign driven by the White Hats seeking public trials for tax-side figures, rather than the quiet replacement by doppelgangers that occurred in previous years. He claims this process involves mass arrest and emphasizes public demands for transparency, including making the proceedings visible to the entire global population, so that they are held accountable. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.